tragedy. You know, you heard about the Columbine shooting, and you hear about all these shootings and different things that are going on. And part of that is because kids are feeling lost. They're not feeling loved. They're not feeling a part. You know, so where gang engagement, you know, is on the rise and still very prevalent, I want us to be able to be a part of a gang to whereas we're being support based, you know, to kids that are doing well or need assistance, want to be involved and engaged with, as well as to be able to help them to move forward academically and educationally.
I know you mentioned a lot of the negative things that goes on, but we do have kids that do positive things,
That's
but
right.
they don't get that recognition.
That's right. Well, you know, unfortunately, I had a news person tell me something a number of years ago when I was bringing, you know, some of these positive things that our kids are doing, whether, you know, when I'm at PAL, or when I was previously with the Del Curry Foundation, Athletes United for Youth. And this reporter told me, you know, he said, Jeff, if it don't bleed, it don't lead. You know, and that has always stuck with me as that's very sad, you know, to whereas if someone is doing some very good and noble things, if these kids or adults or whatever are out there doing some great things, that there's, for the most part, no shot
Correct.
that they will get the attention that they need and deserve, because it's not someone that's out there either beating up their wife, shooting someone, or jumping off a bridge or something that's negative, that there's almost literally no shot that that situation will be a lead story. And that's unfortunate.
Why is it so important that we tell our kids that we love them?
Everybody wants to feel loved and appreciated. Now, you know, believe me, I run up against enough kids in the communities like, I don't care if you care about me or not. Yeah, okay. You say that, but then an hour from now, you're in my office just sitting, just wanting to have conversation and engagement, you know, but you don't want nobody to care about you.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think a lot of these kids, that's what's missing in a lot of them. You know, a lot of kids, their parents, if there's both parents or a parent in the household, they're having to work 1, 2, 3 jobs. And unfortunately, by doing that, by being able to make things accessible for them economically, the thing that's being lost is engagement with that child. And if they're not getting that love from someone at home, they're going to get it from somebody in the community. And a lot of times, unfortunately, that's through gangs and the likes, if you will.
I know you have a lot of events coming up. You have one coming up this Saturday. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, actually, well, we have
Sunday.
Yeah, we have 2 events actually. I'm a glutton for punishment,
Okay.
I guess. We have 2 big events that's coming up. The first is a National High School Basketball Tournament called the Wild Wing Cafe High School Hoops Classic, where we have some of our best local high school boys and girls teams participating, but then we're also bringing in some of the very best high school teams, boys and girls from around the country, including we have Montverde Academy from Orlando, Florida, who right now is ranked the #1 high school basketball team in the country. They're coming in. Abraham Lincoln from New York, because you know I have to have a team in here from New York to represent where I'm from. But Abraham Lincoln, they're coming in. They're currently ranked #10 team in the country. We also have one of our local schools, Northside Christian Academy, who is ranked #14 in the country. Arlington Country Day from Jacksonville, Florida, highly ranked school. And then we also have 2 schools from Georgia, one of which, Westlake High School, is actually the same high school that Cam Newton played and attended and played both basketball and football. So they're coming. So we have a whole host of great talented schools that are coming in with some very high level individual players. So that's going to be December 27th, the 28th, and the 30th at Audrey Kell High School. And then in addition to that, because the teams can't play on Sunday, what I'm doing is, and we started this last year, so this year is the 2nd annual Community Holiday Celebration of Hope dinner and social gathering, where we're feeding people that are in need of meal. We also are going to be providing free haircuts. We have a huge clothes closet filled with some awesome items. And so all of that's going to be going on, great food, and that's going to be on the 29th from 3 p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. So if there's anyone out there that is in need of a meal or want to spend 4 or 5 hours with us, we're going to have big screen TVs up all over the place, showing holiday movies, showing sporting events. We got things for the kids, arts and crafts, and various things for the kids. It's just a great opportunity to celebrate with our community and give back to them in that manner.
Where will this be held at?
Yeah, the feeding event will be at the Greenville Neighborhood Center, which is at 1330 Spring Street. And again, it's from 3 p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. And then the Hoops Classic is going to be at Audrey Kell High School. But if anybody wanted to get any additional information, they can visit our website, which is www.hoodieshouse, HOODIESHOUSE.org. hoodieshouse.org, and everything is laid out on there to see how they can either be involved, or if people want to solicit, opportunities for engagement, sponsorship, they're more than willing to come involved and talk to us.
With giving back, why is that so important to Jeff Hood?
Real simple. To whom much is given, much is required. And growing up, I've been very blessed in my life. Like I said, growing up in the inner city of Queens, I had a choice. I could have went left, with the way that several of my friends did, joining gangs and doing very mischievous types of things. Or you can go right and be involved in providing opportunities to get out of this predicament in this situation. I always wanted more, in life. I was never satisfied. My mother would tell you I was rarely at home. Recently we had a conversation about my daughter, and she dances and she cheerleading and and doing very well in school herself. And I was toying with my mother and saying, look, I don't feel sorry for her. You know what my schedule was when I was growing up. I went to high school. I had to take a bus, a train, and a bus to go to middle school and high school. Middle school and high school. And our kids nowadays, you're taking them everywhere, you're dropping them off and all. And so I went through all of that, and then from there, I was playing basketball myself, so had to go to basketball practice. And then after basketball practice, I was also in a theater company called Black Spectrum Theater Company. Okay. So, and I was the youngest actor in that, so I was there until like 11:30 at night. And then had to come home and do homework. Still had to take that same bus and the train and get home and do it all over again. So these are the things that we want to be able to give back and express to people that, look, in spite of your situation and circumstance, there's still opportunity for you to be successful out there.
Why was it so important for you to do these positive things? And I know this kept you away from the negative, because I know a lot of people wanted you to join the game.
Oh yeah. I was, fortunately enough for me, I was not too bad playing basketball. And one of the codes in growing up in the inner city of New York is, if you was pretty decent in basketball, they would leave you alone. Because they wanted you to succeed as well. They was like, look, man, Jeff, just keep playing ball, just keep doing your thing. Maybe you can get up out of here. So I had that support base. In addition to having it at home and by Hoodie, I also had it from within the community and my family. So, that was very important for me. And because of that, it's just important for me, and it would be for me a sin personally, that for all that I've been blessed with, if I didn't give that back to help other people, for me personally, I feel like I would be sinning.
Where do you see the Hoodie's House of Hope 5 years from now?
Hopefully still here. I don't know. My thing is maybe to be able to have positive effect on even more kids and more communities. maybe it grows beyond just here in Charlotte and Mecklenburg. Maybe it can, branch off into other cities. And but my thing is just really helping and impacting as many kids and young adults as possible.
When you have an event like what you're having this weekend, how does that touch you inside?
I just look at it first as it being a huge tribute to my mom. That's the main thing is, and she's been my guiding light and my angel through this whole thing. I talk to her just about every night, every other night, keep her abreast of what we're doing and that type of thing. But to be honest with you, I haven't looked at it of how it impacts me because it's not about me. I've never looked at doing any of what I do is how is this a benefit to Jeff? To me that's very self-serving and selfish, because it's not about Jeff. It's one about being respectful to my mom. It's also about giving back to the man upstairs who's blessed me. And then it's also about community and kids and young adults. That's it for me. I probably wouldn't even be here today doing this show with you, but this is one of those necessary things that you have to do to be able to get the word out and get what you're doing out. This isn't something that I look forward to doing, but I understand the necessity of it. So it's not about Jeff. It's always about giving back. Same thing like Hoodie.
When your mother sees you and all the different things that you're doing, what does she say to you? I mean, because she's alive and she's able to see you grow and do so many different things for the youth like she used to do.
Yeah. Well, she's of course proud. I'll never forget. When we finished our website, I called her and say, hey, Hoodie, go to the computer, get on the internet. So I directed her to our website, and on the website, one of the first things that pops up is her picture. Oh, okay. And she's like, "Why are you doing this? Why you got all of this going on? And because she's like myself as well. It's not about her either. She's even when I was trying to find pictures, of her with kids and all to put on the website, we could never find it because she never wanted to be in the pictures. So. She is proud. She's excited. She's more excited about the opportunity that we have here to be able to help and impact more people, and again, is diverting it from anything about her, and I'm diverting it to be anything about me. So collectively, we're just out there trying to make it as best as we can to be able to impact as many people as we can, but she's proud.
When you have the time to talk to some of the youth, what are some of the conversations that they tell you?
It's tough. For example, just recently, and some of my staff at PAL will understand this is, I have a number of kids that I engage with, whether it's through PAL, in the community. I'm also a member of the 100 Black Men. I'm also wanting to aid and assist another program, Young Black Males. A lot of times when I deal with kids and we get to establish rapport and relationship, a lot of them wind up, and I attribute this, I guess, because of the way that I am and engage and interact. A lot of them wind up calling me dad, and I take that and I wear that, and I take that from the standpoint of, they look at me as someone, A, that they respect. Secondly, that I'm getting through to them. So now maybe they're listening to what I'm saying, and being able to give them some guidance. So it's kind of tough, because when I'm there with a child, I don't want to be disturbed. I don't want to be interrupted. The phone may ring and it's tough. It's like, no, what are you talking about, sweetie? Come on, we'll finish. And the phone just keeps ringing or what have you. I think that's one of the things that's missing. You have to be there and be all in, for the child. It's not like, well, they're talking, and you hear wah, 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 wah. You're not really listening. You have to be all in when you're there talking to these kids. And I think that's what I get back from these kids is that they know that I'm listening.
For them to call you dad, that has to really be